Alright, this is the fourth dev diary for this game. Still haven't decided on a name. Honestly, I'm not thinking about it too much. You know, that's a future problem. That's how I view that. But I got a lot of updates for last couple of weeks. Oh no, don't do that. Hold on. Oh, so there's a couple things. Let's do it the right way. I need to continue and not. So I redid all the opening cutscenes. I actually redid a lot of the dialogue for all cutscenes in the game, not even just the opening. I like that. This door moved too. One simple thing I added that I really like is zoom ins and zoom outs. It's very simple, but especially like this. That's not the save file I wanted though. I'm gonna go here and toy around with the zomboid. So what I did is redo, or redo is probably the wrong way to describe it. I just actually added different behavior for the zombies. So now this zombie dude over here, he's wandering around randomly. If I get close to him, oops, he's gonna realize I'm here and start coming towards me. And then if I get too far away from him again, see, he stopped following me. He's over there. He doesn't care. Still working out the distance like this. He's too close. There's also a, I think like 20 to 30% chance every 3 seconds for him to make like a groan noise. It hasn't happened yet, which is annoying. There it goes. And there's also a variability with the pitch and the volume of the groan that he makes, which I think adds a lot. It's the same. I did the same thing with the dogs in the outside room, and so the dogs stop randomly, and this guy actually stops randomly too, but it's a much shorter. It's not like the dogs can stop for like 3 seconds. This guy will stop for maybe half a second to a full second. So you can kind of see it's not exactly stopping for the same amount of time. That 20% chance is apparently really low. Oh, there, it did it while I was talking over it. But I'm looking into doing this for every zombie in the game, for the most part. There's some that are in tiny rooms that I figure it doesn't really matter. The room's too small for it to make a difference. But for like this was one of the earlier things I did. Just because you can get to the second floor early, and you're not meant to really. All these doors are locked. You're not meant to go here quite yet. But I gave them all routes. Like this guy goes in a circle around the table. This guy goes over here and goes around that table. This guy stares at the wall like a goober, which I might just leave him because I think that's funny. But there's invisible events here that just trigger them to all of a sudden realize you're here. See? And now he comes after me. And that's cool and all, but oh, he's kind of stuck. There you go. Come on. I know you can do it. I believe in you. But I don't really like the behavior as much, and it's way more complicated and unnecessary, especially later on. I'm going to have all these long hallways. Why bother with that? This guy's going to get me. Go away, run away. It's still slow. There's still slow zombies, but that's a fun addition I'm working on right now. And thinking about making something like a liquor where you could be 2 squares away from it and it won't know you're there, and you just kind of have to tiptoe by it because you don't know what direction it might turn or look or move suddenly. Could be very cool, especially in some of the longer hallways that I have in other sections of the game. I don't know if I ever really talked about the color scheme and all of this. I like that it looks not default, but I'm still not sold on it. There's a couple things I wanted to do that didn't quite work. It's tough when you're dealing with this very small file, like pixel-wise, to kind of make something. But what I did this month was also finalize the whole floor plan for the mansion. And this is a pool that I made kind of look like the umbrella logo. This is the library. It's just most of the first floor is done, as you can kind of see. I mean, these rooms aren't done per se, but they're all more or less what they are. Like, these are going to be bedrooms, so I put bed, bath, etc. And then the second floor, if you go to that, these are patio outdoors. This is the second floor of the garage, is more of like around the edge of it. Let's see, that's a whole outdoor patio. These are the master, well, not the master bedroom. These are the kids of the mansion in these 3 rooms. This is the theater. This is a second kitchen. This is going to be the kind of greenhouse room, I believe. Unless I keep changing the idea for that. That's an office. This I don't remember right now. The whole thing. What is that room? Oh, this is the bar, and this is like the game room. Yeah. This is just the roof, and this is the outdoor terrace overlooking the pool. And then the 3rd floor I did as well. This is attic storage space. This is all the roof. And then this is the master bedroom with their own personal overlooking the garden. That's also the roof. So that was nice to finally get done. And part of the reason I did that is the tile set that I wanted to use wasn't done. And it actually is released now. And I can officially start just making all the rooms. I have to redo, like, well, we'll get to that room in a second. I have to redo all these rooms with that new tile set, because as much as I like this look, and I do think it's pretty good, I don't really want it to be like, yeah, this is the default RPG Maker inside castle. As good as it is, it's gonna, you know what I mean? Like, you just can't do that, especially when there's other options. Oh, now you've grown? Oh, he's still growing over there. You technically haven't left the room until it loads here. But see, these guys are still on the original movement thing, so they're all coming after me. They're a little dumb, but they're getting, I mean, they're trying. So I actually think the other way to do it works better in terms of that. And I do not have anything. Do I? I mean, I could stab you. The battle music's gonna change too. Let's get you out of there. Actually, go and look at the crash site. So this is the new crash site for your car, and then you need to go and take refuge in the mansion. This is the original. I really like the original, but again, default tile set. I like how this looks. These all become trees, so that you can't see them right now, but they all become actual trees. And with the tint on in the actual game, it looks pretty good. I think I have a file. Yeah. This is the end of the section, but you get to see the look of it. And then it transitions to now an overhead kind of panning shot of the top of the mansion, and then down to the new exterior. And I really like that effect where she kind of pops up as it's panning. It's a simple but effect that looks good. I finally got the door in. Had to make a custom little sprite for it and move it around and resize it in Photoshop, but eventually was able to get it to work. This is the original outside. This is all temporary, just boxes and crap. Doesn't matter. These are the outdoor patios you can see on here. Whoa, we're so big. Right there. Let's go back over here. The other rooms I did were the east fountain. Now, these are with the dogs. Let's show off the dogs. Boop, 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 boop. Yeah. And you see with the dogs bark randomly. And they bark a lot because I figure they're yappy zombie dogs. But it's variable pitch and volume. This room is meant to be, you're not supposed to be safe here. You don't want to fight all 25 dogs. And this is the other garden. Oh, they're just going to be barking the entire time. Let's not bark. This is the other one that I redid with the tile set. So then I have the matching tile set now for the interiors, and I can move on with that. What else? I keep forgetting to actually write down all the stuff I end up working on because it's easy to forget. I think the biggest thing was the whole map and getting that finalized, because I think I can start putting things in other rooms. And I had this written down on a piece of paper, but I didn't have it in engine. I can start putting events and things as placeholders in other future rooms now that that's there. But I think that's it. It's not a big update. Very busy at work, actual work, this last week. And believe it or not, redoing this tile set and doing the outside like this took forever to get how I wanted it to look. And now obviously I had to expand it. I am such a sucker for RPG Maker. I probably used RPG Maker the first time in 2000. I am just a real big sucker for their art, their default art. I don't know what it is, but I do really like this. It's gonna look a lot, give it a much more distinct style than just, hey, I opened this up and I clicked on castle and I called it a day. Let's look around. What else did I do? Oh, I started working on smaller things. These doors, like this area of the mansion, the servant quarters, doesn't necessarily have power, so I had to get that and make sure that works. It all works, but they have different keys and there's different things you need to switch over. So, and the same with these rooms here, like the gym that does not look like a gym at all, can have its power off. That's the whole kind of crux of the west wing of the house. So we can just show it all over here, since I have it. The whole west side of the house can have its power turned off. Like these rooms can be off, this will be off, this will be off, and then on the second floor, the theater and these etc. rooms, including this storage room, can all have no power. The hallways will always have power, but these other rooms you'll need to where is it? Upgrade the circuit breaker with different fuses. Otherwise you have to make choices of like where I can go on the west side of the mansion. That's one of the things I really like, that what I'm doing is like, you don't need to complete the fuse box. You don't need to do any of that. You can just ignore it, turn on what you need to turn on, and leave. And so many of the quests and the things you run into are like that, to where it's gonna, there's different ways through the mansion just to get through it, that you're probably not gonna see it all. And you might even realize like, oh yeah, I got the key over there. Well, that's not where the key is. Like, it is there, but it is also somewhere else. And so that's something I'm working on, and also why I wanted to finish the whole layout, so I can just start moving things instead of just making mental notes for later. I can actually just plop it in that room and go, this is where you're going to be. You're also over here, but that's where it is over there too. I'm sure there was something else I forgot. I know I tooled around with a lot of the opening cutscene. Like I said, that was more or less completely rewritten. I tried to shorten it because it's too long. I still think it's a little long, but it's definitely in a better place than it was. And I think the sooner the game lets go and just has you just start in this room, the better. And then you're left to wander around. That's what I want. And I think implementing the zombies as walkabouts, especially in the hallway. And that's the other thing I haven't talked about is there's there's 3 ways to get through the mansion. And within them, they can go back and forth between each other. Like, you don't have to do all of Route A. You can start it out Route A, and then accidentally, unbeknownst to you, end up following Route B, and then maybe even finish the route back on A, right? Or you can do C and just do the whole thing with C. And you might not even know. Like, there's just going to be rooms with puzzles you complete, and, oh, that's what I was supposed to do. Was it? There's other things going on. But with that, there are key moments, and some of them involve keys, where it's going to activate switches and change things around the mansion. So having zombies appear and have this behavior where they can follow you when you get close is going to be key when there's other creatures that start appearing within the mansion. And that's going to occur when you get to those key moments within these 3 different paths, which I'm excited to get to. But I've been taking a break, like, super busy at work this last week, and kinda is frustrating getting this stupid like roof right. I still don't love it. It looks better in game than it does here. Where are we over here? Well, outside the damn fence. Yeah, and I did a lot of work on things like these benches and chairs. I had to go into the tile set and move them around because the way they're default done. All right, yappy dogs. Well, you gotta look at it. The way they're done by default is they're against the wall, but I want them to be away from the wall simply because the character is going to need to walk near them. And if you go and look, where's the bench? Show me the bench. Nope, it's on C. Like this, right here. This was moved down, and so it didn't make any sense for... I don't want you to be able to walk over that, right? Or like, this is a better example. This was in the middle, which makes perfect sense if you want it to go against this wall. But if I want it right here, it looks stupid because the player can't walk through it, because that doesn't make any sense. But they can walk in front of it. It's hard to describe. Let me see if I can actually find one. I moved these two. Or like this. Like that goes against the wall. They're all like that, but they're benches, so it doesn't work the way I want it to work. So anyway, I moved the freaking chairs. I moved the tables. There's other stuff in here that's like that, and it's totally right. It's just not for how I want to do it. So I had to move, because if the table was here, in the where the fire is, it'd be in the middle here. And some of the player, it's either blocked off and they look like they're just standing really far away from something. But it's like, why can't you get closer? Well, I can't have you stepping over the weird table. So that's the drawback. I had to move all this crap around. Anyway, I'm over-explaining something that's totally not necessary. But I made a bunch of edits like that. There's a few things with this tile set I had to move around. That's the door that I added in. See? Door. Alright, that's annoying. Don't do that. Annoy yourself later. But that's it. Hopefully with this next update, I mean, the big thing is to change this and move this room around. I already did move the door and add this black space here so you get that cutscene. You're not covered by the dialogue box. Which I guess I could have just moved the dialogue box. Yeah, this will be the next task. Try not to make these updates 20,000 minutes long. 20 minutes! Hey, perfect. Perfect. No one's watching the whole 20 minutes anyway, so why make it longer?